Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is the Imaginator. I'm here today to bring you guys the latest my One Piece Manga Chapter 1044 review. The title of this One Piece Manga Chapter is called Warrior Liberation. The cover story panel shows Neji and Yanji about to undergo some insane, unpleasant, and extreme surgery. And I think they're the big vampires that are doing the surgery are going to try to free Neji and Yanji. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. Well, I don't think they're gonna kill him. I think it's kind of like a reverse psychology thing where the it looks bad, horrific on the outside, but on the surface, but in the end, but the true meaning behind it is that they're going to actually get those pin needles out that's been attaching to them on the book, and they're gonna be free, and then they're gonna go and find their older sister and their father. That's what I believe is going to happen. Hopefully that does, and I'll say good luck to them. Hopefully they make it out there alive. All right, then so the beginning of the chapter, we have Yamato telling Momonosuke that questioning Joy Boy is Luffy based on what Zunisha told Momonosuke in the last chapter, and now Momonosuke relayed that message to Yamato. So she's kind of like questioning that. Then we get to the left Pleasant Hall, left brain tower, and Sanji wakes up unconscious, regains his consciousness after his long, intense big battle against Queen, and he senses that senses Luffy's hockey, and he is kind of like, "Whoa, Luffy!" And the girl with him at the time, I forget her name, Osomi, I believe her name is, want to know he's okay, doing okay. And then we get to Mary Joe, where we had the five Gorosei are actually talking about Luffy's fruit, the Gum Gum no Mi, the devil fruit that's currently within Luffy. That's pretty much, yes, within Luffy, and that Luffy first consumed a long time ago. And they pretty much elaborate that the fruit has been trying to escape from the grafts, and the world government has been identifying or trying to get to the fruit for the past 800 years. So that's like eight centuries. It's pretty crazy. And one of them mentions the actual name of the fruit, where the gum gum fruit was the original and other name that was known for. The other, and I think the authentic name of it is the human fruit, the Zoan human fruit, mythical Zoan type Nika. And they actually explain about the fruit ability that grants the user, whoever consumes it, which of course is Luffy currently, that it brings happiness and smiles to anybody, and that brings smiles to anybody brings smiles to the user, and that user has a sense of freedom, and the fact the fruit actually uh, grants the user greater physical strength with the rubber body that they get with it. Then we get to the Orochi and Hiyori dialogue, where Hiyori pretty much talks about how her father Odin stayed loyal to Orochi and Kaido's deal. Well, the deal that they made, that pretty much stayed loyal to the deal that him, Orochi, and Kaido made many years ago, and he was kind of dancing for 5 years. And she mentions that he was trying to pretty much stay loyal and believe that Orochi and Kaido will liberate the people from Wano, and actually, liberate Wano and pretty much free the people within Wano. But of course, those of us who read Wano's already know what happened to that. And she was a little kid crying because she was kind of worried that her father, questioned her father if he was okay with people bad mouthing him or disrespecting him while he was dancing kind of like nakedly in public. And Odin is like, no, it's fine because I have. He didn't mention non-scab, but I'm pretty sure he was the non-scabber was included and his family overall. That's why he was okay with able to overcome that unfortunate experience. And then Hiroshi just being a scumbag, like just he was just saying, well, trying to brush it off as if like he's kind of innocent because he was being just found out he's being used by Kaido, and try to go to Hiyori and try to form an alliance and not try to have her give her a reason not to kill him. And Hiyori with a few pretty much furious, Hiyori finally reveals her identity to Orochi, and then she basically said, "You knave," and of course Orochi's like, it's kind of surprised of the reveal. And then Kanjuro comes in his fatherly spiritual form, I'm gonna call it, and he actually Orochi was trying to pretty much try to come up with a plan. The 20-year-old Kazuki, it was a failure to 20-year Hiyori something plan, he said, and Kanjuro actually connected. I guess it was inadvertently. I don't know why. I think it was inadvertent. It was inadvertently that he connected to Orochi, and Orochi was engulfed in flames. And then the last thing he already said was, the Kazuki Oda always keep their promises and let the sun come to dawn. And then we get to the last portion of the chapter where Luffy's finally ready to go. We see the copper hockey just oozing out on the top roof on Onigashima, and the Kaido's men started to realize the copper's hockey knocking them out, and Kyle started to realize it too. Luffy grabs Kaido, and everybody that was in the performance floor is kind of like shocked and surprised. Oh, Luffy's alive, and Chopper was pretty happy to see his captain, alive and back in action. Luffy grabs Kaido from the performance form all the way up to Otaiwa Onigashima, and then he pretty much uses his technique, goes to his muscle form, and they fight for a while. He swings him around and then throws him in the ground, or throws him in the top portion of Onigashima. And Luffy then, Kaido was like, "Oh, I'm glad you're alive, Stride," and he does his fire breath technique. It's very powerful fire blast breath technique. And Luffy uses his ground. Since he's now awakening, he's now using the environment to his advantage as a shield. So he grabbed the bottom ground part of Onigashima, turned it to rubber, and pretty much used that as a balance as a reflection shield to deflect the blast breath back to Kaido. And Kaido is there like, I know Luffy's kind of laughing due to the him being the Gear 5th. And Kaido is like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry what that idiot did." And then Luffy's like, "Oh, no, it's no problem." And that's the end of the chapter. All right, so my review. So I thought the chapter was pretty awesome. I like the introduction of Gear 5th, how it was well executed. I like how it actually shows how powerful Luffy has become with his Conquer Haki just constantly oozing out of his body, outside of his body. And and I like how everybody's surprised, like, "Whoa, this is Stride? Is this really Stride?" Really highlight how powerful he is in his form. And I like the dialogue that the 5 elders gave about Gear 5th. This in his actual fruit name, the human mythical type Zoanika, and further elaborated of what it does for the user, which was a plus because there's some series in the manga and anime that don't really explain, certain abilities, and it leaves things ambiguous. But this case, no, it was clear and it was easily understood. The Hiyori and Orochi dialogue, I thought was well received. It was well done. I feel like I'm glad that Hiyori got everything out of her chest. And you can just feel the energy of her frustration, which is rightfully so. I mean, because Orochi, again, he's a snake. He's a manipulator who made everybody. One of the 2 people that made Wano a living war zone, and basically potentially killed probably like a lot of people in the process, along with Kaido. Well, having Kyle as his backup. And And I like how Tama and Nami, I think that was pretty funny, them crying for joy that Luffy find out that Luffy's alive. And the last portion of the chapter, again, I love the hockey, Conqueror's hockey just oozing out. And Luffy is showcasing his awesome. It looks kind of bizarre, but also kind of funny. Well, bizarre and very powerful techniques. And I like that he's now waking his Zoan fruit ability, which was very foreshadowed back in Doflamingo's fight, fighting for further than that. But now the concept that happened in his fight against Doflamingo is now coming to pass here in his fight against Kaido. So I think that was a plus. I really enjoyed that. And I like the respect that Kaido gave. He doesn't come out as a typical cold-hearted villain that doesn't pretty much that doesn't get pretty like careless and just doesn't care what happens to his opponents. He has respect for strong opponents for for Luffy, as he recognizes Luffy's strength. And so yeah, I like how they come to agreement with that and about to resume their biggest fight yet. All right, so that's the end of my review of One Piece Manga Chapter 1044. Hope you liked the video. Comment your thoughts down below about my chapter review, and subscribe to my channel, Imagine, for more manga chapter reviews and discussions and many more. With all that being said, fellow YouTubers, y'all have a wonderful day.